Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. We're finally playing in version 0.23, just as they've started to announce on the Kerbal Space Program blog features for the upcoming 0.24 update. So we've got to get some gameplay in here, and first things first, you'll notice I've started and am continuing to play with the old save. I did not start over as I was hemming and hawing about, and that's because the new science archives, has kept all of our previous science that we've gained with this save. So that's very cool. We don't have to lose all of that awesome stuff. And really, the only part, as you can see, that we don't have in our tree is this mobile processing lab. And since we already unlocked that tier of science, we can just easily research, and now it adds it to our parts list. Otherwise, everything else is pretty much linear, so no reason to start over the save. Of course, with the over 1,122 science that we had, we have unlocked the mainsail and the large fuel tank, very important parts. And I decided with the remaining science to unlock some additional docking and kind of stage parts that help with the further building of space station type objects and things, which we, as you can see here, put to the test by updating our Ferris refueler. Remember the Ferris refueler stage that we used to even get all the way to Duna and land on Duna? Redesigned it with the mainsails and the large orange fuel tanks. Unfortunately, in the first rendition, I had the staging a little bit mixed up, and only 4 of the 5 main engines lit on that first stage, and I started to realize this right about now. So some quick thinking, some quick stage adjustments, and that was pretty much the only major issue that we had with this launch. Some spin caused by that, but staging went well. And that middle engine finally lit, and it was a pretty uneventful launch to orbit. As you can see, very efficient. I'm getting way too good at this. No, I'm actually still quite terrible. But, you know, it was a variation on the Ferris refueler, and pretty much the same design, although this top stage, as we disconnect here, as you can see, I've named it's the tugboat. Because we learned with our mission to Duna that the most efficient way to transport a large ship is not by thrusting from the rear, it's by thrusting, beg your pardon? By thrusting from the front stage, and it acts as kind of a tugboat. You kind of pull the main spacecraft along as opposed to push, which causes the bendy noodle situation. But as you can see, we've transported more than a full orange fuel tank full of fuel all the way to what remains of the Ferris refueler station, I guess you could call it, that we've already had in orbit. Mostly empty of fuel because the Ferris refueler was not very efficient, because when we built it we had yet to have unlocked these atomic engines. But we docked here at the Ferris refueler station. Still going to be making use of this setup. But as you will see, with all of these stages together, it's quite a wobbly and unwieldy thing to have up in orbit, so I decided to undock 2 of the empty stages, and to conserve fuel, use only RCS. Use only a small amount of RCS to bring the orbit down enough for a re-entry, thus ending the chapter in our space flight history that was dominated by the Ferris refueler system, to be replaced by the tugboat system in dramatic and standard Kerbal Space Program fiery re-entry and crashing into the mountains just west of Kerbal Space Center. And with this, we're going to start a new mission, which is going to start in a few seconds with live commentary. This has all been post-commentary, just to bring you up to speed. So I will see you un momento. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back live on the launch pad here with Jebediah Kerbin. acting as Jebediah Kerman, we are inside, as you can see, a cupola module, a nice window. Unfortunately, the center window is blocked by a launch tower, I suppose, an abort tower, and I can show you the mission we are going to attempt today is not apparent from this screen. I thought it would tell you what the spacecraft was, but this spacecraft is known as the SPF 1000. We are going to attempt to study the sun. Not by landing on it, but as you can see, I am using a cupola module and one of the science processing modules. Not necessarily totally useful in this case, because we're not going to get too much science out of this mission, because you get most science from collecting samples from the different biomes of the moon and other planets and things like that. So maybe not the most efficient for science, but I just felt like it would be a good time to test this module, and maybe, depending on the success of this mission, if we do get close to the sun, Kerbal, as I suppose it's called, we can maybe start to build like a space station near the sun and the sun. And actually, more than just Jebediah Kerman, we have... Where are they? Hello? We have... Dramatic pause. No, I want to... No, how do I... Stop! There we go. We have Bill and Bob Kerman inside the processing lab. We're going to be going on this mission. Basically, the same first stage as the tugboat stage, a very useful stage that hopefully will get us to orbit and to the tugboat, and then we're going to connect to the tugboat and have that tug us all the way to the closer to the sun, as close as I possibly can get. I'm not sure what exactly I'm going to be aiming for. This is the first flight of the SPF 1000. So I'm not quite sure if it's even going to get to orbit. I'm a little bit concerned. I realized that this stage is kind of my get to orbit and get to the space station stage, or the refueling station stage. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough oomph, if I'm going to have to rely on RCS to get there. Who knows? I've also fiddled with this. You can kind of see this right here is an escape tower. I do have an abort set up for this mission, just in case, just for fun. Maybe I could use this over again, but if I were needed to abort, I could abort, and it would instantly separate the crew module with these RCS thrusters and get us the heck out of Dodge. Not going to be necessary. I'm not even going to bother testing it. It might not even be powerful enough to lift this large module off the rest of the rocket. Another thing I'm testing and working with is the solid rocket boosters are actually, oh, you can't tell here, but in the VAB, you can set a maximum throttle. I actually have these set to 90%, because I don't know if we specifically need them, so I just want them to provide a little bit of oomph to get us off the pad, and at 90% they'll last longer. So we'll test that out and see. But without further ado, no more talking. We have less talky, more launchy. We're going to set off. We have the station has passed us by. That'll give us enough time to catch up. We're going to launch the SPF 1000. Throttle up. SAS on. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. And all the engines are burning as needed. And this looks like it's going to be a fairly successful launch. We're not stalling out with speed. I can actually throttle down a little bit because those solid rocket boosters are doing a majority of the lifting at this time. I can turn off my lights. Don't necessarily need those on right now either. Not bad, very nice. We're accelerating. Jebediah's doing all right. All right, solid rocket boosters are gonna run out, so I can throttle up and stage. Thank you very much, guys. You worked quite well. We're at 6,000 meters, just about to pass 200 meters per second. That's good timing, because we're gonna stage. And we've kind of plateaued in our acceleration. Give it a little bit more throttle. And start the gravity turn. Let's just tilt over slightly. Very reactive to our inputs. Surprisingly, this is a very heavy rocket. I am impressed at the speed at which this thing is able to maneuver. I can throttle down a little bit. We're out of the heavy atmosphere. Okay, 45 degrees. Let's take a look at our map view. Very nice. I'm going to keep it around 2 Gs of acceleration. That's generally the accepted amount of acceleration you need to get out in a nice... We're launching into a sunrise. Very nice. Very poetic. Because that's where we're going. To the sun. What is the next stage going to do? The next stage does that, and then we lose the launch tower. Could probably lose that a lot earlier, but oh well. Let's take a look at this. That's happening very nicely. Oh, we're accelerating well beyond 2 Gs, so I can throttle down a little bit and maybe tilt over. Very nice, very nice. Keep on the trajectory. The most efficient way to space. Very cool. How you doing there, Jeb? Stage. And I could probably stage the launch tower. See you later. I actually, another thing I forgot to mention is you can stage the, that's a nice window. You can you can adjust the throttle on the Separatrons as well. So I actually, even though I had 8 Separatrons, the ones on the left side I throttled back to 80% so that when they all activate, the more powerful side pushes just slightly more and then pushes the launch tower out of the way, or the escape tower out of the way. Holy crap, what have I done? Oh no. Pay attention, Kurt. Oh, man. Wow. This rocket is efficient. Okay. Oops. Let's set that as our target. Okay, so. Maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was. Maybe I don't gosh, I don't even need this secondary stage. That's a waste of fuel, almost. I guess I kind of did overcompensate for the fact that before I was launching an entire fuel tank full of fuel, very heavy. I suppose the manned capsules aren't as heavy as an entire tank full of fuel. Whoops. Okay, we can recover from this. Not a problem. First I need to make sure I can circularize my orbit. Too much power, man. You have too much power. Probably did not even need those solid rocket boosters. Might not have even needed 4 main tanks. Maybe I could have got away with 3. Okay, we'll fix this. We'll fix this, and then we'll be back with hopefully a nice rendezvous with the tugboat. The tugboat. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and as you can see, approaching the tugboat MK1. I feel really bad about all this fuel we're gonna waste. What I should have done was put a docking port on the side of this fuel tank or somewhere else, because the only docking port we have is hidden by the Separatron, or the separator between the 2 stages. And it's going to be a waste of fuel. I have like a half a orange tank here, and the entire kind of upper stage that I have, it's going to be wasted. And now is actually going to be a little bit dangerous, because they're going to be space debris on the same orbit as my station. I've been considering raising the orbit of the station to 200 kilometers. It's like 170, 167, as you can see. Not really a nice number in that regard, but we have kind of parked 2 kilometers away from the tugboat. I feel like I should stage, because this heavy amount of... Look at all the fuel I'm wasting. this heavy amount of fuel is actually making this a little bit unwieldy to work with. So I'm going to stage. I'm sorry, fuel. I wish I could bring you up here with me, but so long. Whee! Alright, just don't cause problems later on in life, please. Alright, let's get a little bit closer to the tugboat, and we'll do our docking. Oh yeah, much easier to control now that we've lost that stage. We're going to do one of my famously efficient docking maneuvers. Oh, I gotta actually activate this engine. Yellow. Yellow. That happens next. Okay, yeah. Throttle down. Stage. Okay, there we go. Alright. Gosh, what was I thinking? I was overthinking is the problem. Now that I have these large mainsail engines and the orange fuel tanks, I have to, you know, previously I would constantly worry about even getting into orbit with the stages that I had. But alas, that is a problem no more. It's a very nice... Okay, get in the chase view, that's fine. A very nice view from the cupola. I do have my antenna up there, which is nice to see. We have snacks. We have hilarious photos of missions past. Was Jeb on the moon? Jeb landed on the moon, right? I don't know. I can't remember anymore. Little reminders, sticky notes. Left the emergency slide in the bottom right cabinet. I ate all the snacks. From Bill Kerman. Bill! He's in the science module. I'm a little bit upset that you can't see or go into IVA within the science module, because there appear to be some windows or something that feels like something that would be fun to explore. Regardless, we're approaching the tugboat. Let's actually fast forward some stuff here. Whee! Alright, now we can use our RCS to get a little bit closer. Indeed. And as you'll see as we're approaching, what I didn't show you with the previous pre-recorded footage is that I have indeed sent up an additional tugboat and docked it to the side, which is, I don't know why, one of the, you know, as you saw with the other tugboat, I put docking ports just flat on the side of the tanks because I figured I would need additional ports to dock to so that I could cross-feed fuel and stuff like that, but I must have missed that memo when I was making the SPF 1000 rocket. Oh well. Alright, now we are within about 200 meters. And closing. And again, I'm going to lose this stage, which is practically full of fuel. I should probably get rid of it now. Once again, I do not wish it to be too much of a pain. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Alright, chase view is a little bit disorienting. Yeah, you know what? Let's actually... I've got enough RCS fuel. Let's stage it now so that it gets spewed away from the station here in 3, 2, 1... Yeah. Sorry. What a waste. Alright, now we have an open docking port, which is strange because I want to actually control from the docking port. It's going to change our perspective. Whoa! Just a little bit. There it is. Alright. Very nice. As we approach... which one do I want to connect to? I want to connect to the one that's on the side, which is actually a slight revision on the first tugboat. Adding an additional port to the front. Which way is it pointing? I can't tell. Okay, it's pointing the other way. Another design choice I made with the tugboat is attaching the rockets, the engines, via these little struts, so that they're a little bit further away. One of my concerns about using a tugboat versus a pushboat is that I was afraid the exhaust from the engines would destroy parts of the ship that was being tugged. So by deflecting those engines further out, that's less of an issue. So let's get a little bit closer. I'm not sure how Jeb would be doing this when he's looking the opposite direction, but we can pretend, Alright, that is my target. And we're approaching at 0.7 meters per second. Lights are on. Oh, these lights aren't on. There we go. Not that they're necessary in the daylight. To adjust just a little bit. Slow it down a bit. And completely miss. Where? Come on, Amy thing. You're Amy? Who's Amy? The little target? I'm lined up. There we go. And forward. What's going on? There we go. Got it. First try. Perfect. Well done. Alright, this is going to be our setup. As you can see, yeah, if you missed it, I put docking ports on the side of the orange tank. You can do that. I don't have any use for the ones on this rocket, but it was very useful to connect here, and we will be able to... Since we have... Look at how full these orange tanks are. I haven't even used anything from them. Just the external fuel. Actually, these are full as well. How the heck did I get this thing into orbit? Yeah, we can... And this has a little bit of fuel in it, doesn't it? Oh, I thought it did. Yeah, it does. A little bit of fuel in the last remaining Ferris refueler stage. So we can top off our tanks using this, and I will rejoin you when we start to plan our mission to the sun. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, as you can weirdly see off in the distance from within the viewpoint of Jebediah Kerbin, we have left the station. We topped off on all the fuel that we need. We do have a burn coming up here in just a little bit over 3 minutes that is going to get us out of Kerbin, escape. Yeah, that's right. And get us on our way towards the sun. I feel like doing this in incremental burns to make sure that the orbit stays circular. I'm not sure how much oomph we're going to need. Also, I'm not sure how much oomph we're going to need for this burn. It says a 39-second burn, but I doubt that since we are running on the low-power, high-efficient atomic engines. I am not sure why I have all of these engines lit up. I have a feeling it is a kind of just an error after disconnecting. Okay. So hopefully there's not a problem where when I start burning these engines, the engines on the tugboat start burning, but I guess we'll test. Oh god, I'm facing the wrong way entirely. Wait, I want to control... No, okay, no I'm not. Good lord. Yeah. Oh, it must have been when I switched to Jeb's perspective, it switched to his control. No, I want to control from this end. So let's do a little test burn here now that we're T-minus 2 minutes, just to get the full estimation. Turn on SAS, and actually I'm going to keep an eye on the tugboat in the background to make sure that doesn't burn. Oh, it's a 5-minute burn. Okay, well I'm just going to keep on burning. And we're getting further away from that, and that doesn't appear as though it has its engines firing, right? Okay. Yeah. Right? Yeah, those aren't burning. Why? Get off the screen, man. Alright, so we're burning. Towards the sun. Well, away from Kerbin to begin with. But yeah, this whole tug situation works quite well. I'm not sure why I'm overheating. That just happens with these atomic engines. The plumes are still dangerously close to some of the essential parts on this stage. What does it look like from... I hope it doesn't mess up the view. Ha! That's a little bit worrying. It's getting a little bit warm in this capsule, eh, Jeb? Indeed, yeah, okay, and then the perspective changed again. Not a fan of what happens there, but I guess that's what I get for designing a spacecraft that flies backwards. Alright. So yeah, this is gonna be a decent burn. Let's keep an eye on where we go, just to make sure we don't accidentally encounter one of the moons, but this is gonna take a while, like I said, so I will be back with you when we are in Kerbin Escape, and then maybe we can test out some of the science stuff and see what exactly this module does. Because I'm hoping, I'm not sure, I haven't even looked this up, but I'm hoping there is a biome for science that is called close to the sun, because when you're in orbit around the sun, it's just called high above the sun, is the biome from science. I'm hoping there's like a close orbit, near orbit of the sun. There might not be, who knows, but this is what science is all about. Indeed. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and as you can see, I've used about 1/4 of the fuel that I have in that one burn away from Kerbin, and we have gotten our periapsis down to about 7 million kilometers from the sun. So I'm going to burn at the periapsis to bring our apoapsis down. And again, like I said, do kind of a steppy thing, back and forth until I can get closer and closer and closer. So right now we're between the orbits of Eve and Moho. And I would like to try out, while we're here, while we are for certain high above the orbit of the sun, if there is a difference between these biomes, do some science. So from the science processing module, I'm going to have... Can you not have these guys go on EVA? Why can you not have these guys go on EVA? That's problematic. I kind of wanted them to be active participants in this mission. Crew hatch. Ha! I swear... On the launch pad, this mission, there was a little EVA button. Huh. That's strange. Very strange. Okay. I guess... Jebediah is the guy who's going to be going on EVA. I cannot... Oh, it's because I'm in fast forward mode. God, I always forget that. Whoa, drifting. Okay. Come on. You can do it. Okay, there we go. Okay, I always do that. That is a mistake I'm constantly doing, is leaving things in fast forward. I'm like, oh my god, the spaceship isn't responding. All right, no, here we go. Let's have Bob go on EVA. There are a lot of nice places to hold on, so I am going to let go. Let me turn on the lights and my RCS pack. Very nice. Ooh. A new thing in this version is that the RCS fuel is now classified... Or, I'm sorry, the EVA fuel is now classified as the same fuel source as the RCS on the ship. So when you do get back in your ship and it refills the EVA pack, it actually takes from your supply of RCS fuel, which is new. It used to just recharge from thin air. But this is interesting, and here we are. Bob is happy. He is 7... Whoop, what happened to the sun? We lost the sun! Look at the shadows on the ship. Okay, it's below us. There we go. There's the sun. We are 7 million kilometers above the sun, and we are going to take an EVA report and 0 science, because apparently I have already taken this science in space, high over the sun. So yeah, I'm hoping I'm hoping that we are able to get some sort of science from close to the sun, because we had a robotic mission that I tried to get as close to the sun as possible, but we didn't do too well with that mission. Watch your head, bonk. Alright, get close to the hatch again. You're gonna go back inside. Grab. Oh, board. Okay, you boarded. Well done. So now I wonder if the materials bay... Whoa, that'll give us 109 science. But process in the lab module will get us 10% transmit value, but recovery will get us 109 science. Yikes. Alright, let's process in the lab module since we have it. Processing. Ooh, that takes a while. I'm assuming it takes electric charge as well, but we have solar panels deployed, so we're all good. And then I'm assuming the materials bay resets. This is all new to me. People have been playing this version of the game for a month, and this is all new to me. Alright. Come on, Bob and Bill, do your work. Alright. So now... Yes. Okay. So I get 0 science regardless. Okay, reset the experiment. We'll keep that later. I do also have a goo container. I know I've done this from here before. Yeah, 0 science. So let's reset that experiment. A crew report? Have we done a crew report? No! Well, maybe. Yeah, we've done a crew report from high above the sun. Okay, never mind. Sorry guys. Alright, let's, we're about to approach our periapsis. I suppose I'll keep you on the camera here. I don't need to set up a maneuver or anything, because this is very simply... Whoa! I do need to slow my fast forward down a little bit, though. This is very simply just burning from the periapsis. Whoop, 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 whoop. Don't pass it up. How far away am I? 4 minutes? Alright, that's good. I am going to retract the solar panels because I fear that they are in direct line of sight to the exhaust from the engines. So let's retract those. And let's get precisely on the way we're heading and start our... Am I controlling from here? Okay, good. I'm facing the right way. Start the burn. Feel the burn. And back to the map view. Oh, we just literally passed the periapsis. Back to the map view to see what exactly this is doing for us. Takes a long time. It's probably going to be another 4 or 5 minute burn. But, yeah, right now I'm at 7 million kilometers, so I'll probably want to bring this one down to about the orbit of Moho, which is about 5 million. And I'll just keep doing this over and over again to get as close as I possibly can. Not as efficient as I was hoping it to be, and I don't know, we'll see. I'll just try to get as close as I can. I'd like to aim for something crazy, like under 1 million kilometers. Maybe 500,000 kilometers? 100,000 kilometers? You know, who knows? I don't know how close you can get before you actually run into the sun. It was a little bit weird when we ran into Joule. Of course, now these spacecraft are on their way out. Surprisingly, this one Kerbal cluster probe is still in an orbit. What happened? Yeah, what happened to that? We must have lost it. I had that robotic mission to the sun. Or was that a different save? I'm getting all confused. So yeah, this is good that we're keeping consistent with this save, because I'll forget all the missions I've been on. But still burning fine. This is a very stable upper stage. It could probably bring us anywhere within the solar system we wanted to. We just need to somehow attach whatever lander or capsule we need, and we can head off just reuse this same sort of this tugboat stage to take us to the stars. But yeah, this is gonna take a while, this burn, so I will be back with you when we get somewhere of consequence. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have run out of fuel, and it is finally time to see how close we got. Unfortunately, not as close as I was hoping. It takes a lot of power, and speed power, to get close to the sun. As you can see, our orbit around the sun right now is 16,761 meters per second, so you'd have to bleed that all off in order to get closer and closer. So here's our final orbit, is 3,700,000 kilometers by 3,800,000 kilometers. So pretty much circular. I could have gotten a lot closer, but then my apoapsis would have been way the heck far out, and that wouldn't have exactly been what I wanted. I wanted a stable circular orbit. I got just within the orbit of Moho, so that's good. I'm a little bit concerned about how close I am right here. I'm not sure if Moho is at some point going to disturb our orbit, but I'm starting to think maybe I should have taken 2 of the tugboat stages to get this close, to get even closer. And I don't know, it's possible maybe I should send out a refueling mission to here to get us even closer to the sun, because I feel like this isn't as dramatically close as I was hoping. It's still close, don't get me wrong, it's still very close. Look at the sun, it's blinding. We could actually probably what we should do... Oh, wrong way. What we should do is kind of point the the cupola stage towards the sun, because Bill Kerman, or Jebediah Kerman rather, needs a suntan. Plus, that also gives us our full view of our little solar panels there. But there it is, so bright. In our faces. I don't know. The Kerbonauts are green. The Kerbal people are green. And does that mean there's some sort of photosynthesis going on? And that's how they gain energy? That's why they don't need to bring food along on these trips? I mean, if you go back to Kerbin, all the grass and the foliage and the trees are green. So assuming there's some sort of parallel there. If the grass and stuff wasn't green, then that means photosynthesis on this system takes place with some other, chemical or spectrum of light. But since the Kerbals match the plant life on Kerbin, I'm assuming there's some similarities. So maybe this is a good thing. They're testing their abilities to become superhuman strength with how close they are to the sun. But I suppose the final test is whether or not the there we go. The biome we're in is any different than far away from the sun. I don't believe it is. Let's have a crew report. No, we are still in space, high over the sun. So that's unfortunate. And again, that might be the only biome there is. But we might eventually have to try to see what that could get us. Obviously, as you can see, we do have other docking ports. I could bring a refueler out here and swap this out for the other one and get even closer. Who knows? But yeah, this was an interesting first mission in the new version of the game. I don't know that we really learned any much from it, but we learned how close we could get. We built this very amazing... This could get us anywhere. It could get us to Moho if we wanted to. Maybe the next mission we'll go to Moho, and we'll just work our way out in the solar system, just checking off all the planets on the Science Archives page. But for now, Jebediah, Bill, and Bob are stuck in orbit close to the sun, which is kind of cool because now we'll get to go through the roster of all the other astronauts instead of having these guys pop up every time. I've never gotten Kurt Kerman yet. I've gotten Buzz Kerman a few times, but Kurt Kerman has yet to make his way up to the astronaut ranks. So yeah, indeed. Thank you very much for watching. I look forward to getting back into Kerbal Space Program here. Jeb says hello from nearish the sun. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time.